On this week's show, the Battle of the Bridge ends level, United leave it late against the Saints, Klopp gets spiky after Liverpool draw, and Man City find their ruthlessness again. This is the OTC Podcast Review Show. Hello and welcome back to the OTC podcast with myself, Regan, Walsh, and my co-presenter, Bradley Morris. How are you doing today, Brad?
Yeah, bit better. It's Sunday night. Gonna feel exactly the same how I would any other Sunday night, except for next week when I'm allowed to go home for a change.
Yeah. It's been a very interesting weekend in the Premier League, as usual. We've had games that have had many goals in it, Man City and the Manchester United game, and then we've had the others that have barely had any in it. And the big talking point, or the big game we're going to look at straight away, is the game that's not long finished at Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea played Tottenham Hotspur, a game that finished 0-0. What are your initial thoughts on the game?
Oh, I mean, I've not long woken up. I was wondering if Tammy Abraham actually scored eventually.
No, unfortunately not.
He missed quite a few key chances there for my liking.
Yeah, I think there's at least 2 or 3 that he could have and maybe should have put away, but it's definitely going to be, I think, more frustrating for Chelsea that they got the point than Jose Mourinho's side. I think Spurs definitely came in with the game plan of trying to set up for the draw and were happy to play on the counter-attack. Chelsea did well in keeping Harry Kane quiet throughout the game, I thought, considering how big in every game he's been so far. They managed to keep him really quiet. Again, another clean sheet for Mendy in goal, who once again has proved to be a very good buy for the Blues.
I mean, I'd argue he wasn't tested.
Yeah, he wasn't tested as much as you would think it's going to be. Nothing's changed at the top of the table in terms of positioning for either side. Spurs remain top on 21 points. Chelsea remain in third, 2 points behind the Spurs. You got to say though, Mourinho's got this side playing really well. The only defeat this season has been the opening game of the season when they lost to Everton.
Yeah. Did you? Are you interested after that? I was interested after that opening game where we were saying, "Oh, this could be an awful season for them," because they just looked so lethargic in that one, and now they've got themselves together. Now they're top, so can't complain.
Yeah, and playing really, really good football when they're winning the games. I mean, yes, last week against Man City wasn't the best Spurs performance, but they got a result and they're still top of the table after today's game, so definitely going to be the happier of the bunch.
Well,
next up,
you say happy the bunch. Reading his post-match comments, he's saying that his side are angry that they haven't come away with anything.
Yeah, see that he said he's going to be his side will be angry with the performance, but then Roy Keane on Sky Sports literally said moments later, that's the same Spurs squad that were celebrating finishing 6th on the last day of last season and getting European football. And like, he's not wrong there. I think deep down they'll be happy with the point because, like you said, they didn't really test Mendy that much.
Yeah, and the less said from me about Roy Keane asking teams not to celebrate minuscule achievements, the better. I think Tottenham they should be happy about taking the point away from home against a team that potentially are in with them in the title race. So I can't see how they can be too upset by it.
No. I think looking at the game, I think a point's a fair outcome of the game, really. I think Spurs, for me, did enough to warrant the victory of the 3 points. So I think a point shared is correct. Elsewhere in the weekend, there was controversy at the Amex Stadium as Brighton played Liverpool in a game that would finish 1 apiece. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool side thought they took the lead after 34 minutes thanks to Mohamed Salah, but his goal was disallowed by VAR. However, just after the hour mark, Diogo Jota scored for Jurgen Klopp's side, continuing his impressive form since joining the Reds in the summer. 7 minutes from time, they thought they scored again, Liverpool, this time through Sadio Mane. Again, VAR ruled it out, and then in stoppage time, Brighton awarded a penalty, and it was Pascal Gross who scored it, blasting the ball right down the middle, giving Alisson no chance whatsoever. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, Klopp was a bundle of laughs. But again, how different is that Brighton penalty to what Villa had ruled out last week?
That's the thing. It's one of them where for me, there wasn't anything in that to give it a penalty.
Well, I say, actually, it is. You know, clearly, because you knew a kick on the foot, and I'm going to stay there after that. All I'm saying is both of them are pens. Both of them are penalties.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't give this one this week, but not the Villa one last week, or if they did it vice versa. There's just no consistency in what's happening with these decision makings. Like we said the other day in the preview show, the officials aren't giving us a consistent basis with the decision making.
He may have got the ball, but he's also kicked his ankle off. Was Danny Welbeck? Look, he didn't get injured.
Yes, he is very lucky there. Point sees Liverpool stay in second, level on points with Spurs, but behind by 7 goals. The result for Brighton leaves them. Go on.
I want to go on to Klopp.
What?
Well, why? That's one of the most amazing post-match interviews I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean,
was he wrong?
Nah, I think he's. I don't know.
Interesting. Both of them are right. Klopp's right, and Des Kelly. What I say?
Yeah,
Des Kelly.
it was Des Kelly. The interview.
He's not wrong either, but Klopp can go about this in a different route. He's obviously after that game, he's livid. He sees his team's just been almost robbed.
Yeah, denied the 3 points.
He's going to go after the easy target, and who's that? The broadcaster that he's getting interviewed.
Yeah,
he makes the right points. It's just,
oh yeah,
it is the Premier League it needs to be going for.
Yeah, 100% agree with that analogy. Elsewhere in the Premier League,
just to stick with Des Kelly, we're both. Well, you're more than me. You're a budding journalist at one point or another. Des Kelly's completely in the right to defend the broadcaster and ask him those questions.
Oh yeah.
Going into that interview, he knows Klopp is furious and he's gonna potentially go off on one if you ask him a certain question that would spark that reaction.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They're not
yeah. He's been a reporter for many years, Des Kelly, and he'll know what questions are going to get the best answers out of a manager or a player and the best reaction. So he's obviously going to ask the questions that not everyone's going to enjoy asking, and then people will be questioning him, why has he asked this question? But it gets people talking about the game, talking about Klopp's reaction and whether they think it's right or wrong, and it gets BT or any other broadcaster that sees it the views. So he's got every right to ask the type of questions that he did.
Yeah, we can move on.
Yes. Elsewhere in the Premier League today, Manchester United came from 2-0 down to beat Southampton 3-2 at St Mary's. The Saints took the lead thanks to...
Then again, we can skip.
Jan Bednarek and James Ward-Prowse opened the scoring for the Saints. Ward-Prowse with an excellent free kick again. At half-time, Solskjaer made 2 changes, taking off David De Gea, who sustained an injury, and Mason Greenwood, and it was Edinson Cavani who came on and had a massive impact in the game. First setting up the goal for Bruno Fernandes to pull it back. He then scored one himself with 16 minutes left, and he scored the winner in stoppage time thanks to a Marcus Rashford assist. Good comeback result, you got to say, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side, considering how poor they were in the first half.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, vintage Man Utd.
Yeah.
Why is Cavani
I
not
think
starting?
the weird thing, yeah, I think that's going to be a question nowadays. I think that was a perfect game for him to have started, I think. I mean, he might have gone on to score 3 or 4 goals if he had started, and it might not have been such a pressure in added time to try and find the winner. And I think definitely recently he's started to look more gelled already into this Manchester United team, and it doesn't look like it's going to be as bad as when they signed Radamel Falcao on loan for that season.
You say he's gelling in, but that's just Cavani's striker's instinct and his movement and how good he is at that, getting in the right areas. It's just what you expect from your striker.
Yeah, and especially someone who has that much experience as he does in around the goal area. It's going to be... I'm not too sure what the extent of De Gea's injury is at all. I don't think it's been mentioned as to what happened with him, but it looks like he could be out of the Champions League game against PSG during the week. So that will give a chance for youngster Dean Henderson to step up and fill the gloves. The result for Man United moves them up to 7th place. Sorry, not 7.7th place, and 2 points off a Champions League spot, whilst the Saints stay in 5th.
That's I can't believe, because well done, you finally got out of Villa for a change. It took you till December.
I mean, you still got a game in hand over us. I mean, that is tomorrow's game against West Ham, but still, I'll take it as I can. The other big game, well, not big game, but another impressive result saw Manchester City put 5 past Burnley. Riyad Mahrez hat-trick, Benjamin Mendy and Ferran Torres with the goals for Pep Guardiola's side. Both teams had goals ruled out late on for disallowed by VAR. Gabriel Jesus with one for the Citizens. I said it on the preview show on
you called it
the Friday that Man City could score 4 or 5 past Burnley, and I just had a feeling that this would be the game that Pep would got his team playing. And you've got to say, it was a very impressive performance from Mahrez of all the players.
It's him again, showing that he's almost slightly underrated. Is that right?
He's one in this City team. I think he's underrated, but as a player, I don't think. On a whole, I think he's rated highly.
Do you think him out of this Man City team can't be the best player at another club, or he can have the same effect?
No, I think if he was still at Leicester or at like an Everton, he would be like the best player in the team without a shadow of a doubt. But I think because he's surrounded by world-class players, we sometimes don't see how good of a performance he can put in unless he does all the work himself like he did. The result moves Man City. Go on.
Do you think he gets in Leicester's current team then?
I think he does.
Is he the best player in that team now?
I don't know whether you'd put him ahead of how well Tielemans is doing. And Udi's always consistent.
If he's consistent with this sort of performance, then you would say so. But I don't think he's doing enough to say be the best in a Leicester team. I don't know. Using it, I think it's either Vardy or did you say Tielemans?
Yeah, Tielemans. Elsewhere in the weekend, Everton played Leeds United, and it was Marcelo Bielsa's side that would go on to win the game 1-0 thanks to a Rafinha goal 10 minutes from time. A bit of a shock, really, considering how both teams' seasons were going. You would have thought Everton would have won that game. I think looking at it, we both said it could be a very entertaining game. One that either side could have won, and it was Leeds that were the more clinical of the two sides.
It's like clinicals. Strong as they 23 shots and they've scored once.
Yeah, I mean, maybe clinical wasn't the right word.
The questions don't get asked when you're winning.
No.
When you're not winning, then you look at those stats and go, "Oh, look, we got to score it."
Yeah. But it proves once again, though, Everton, another game without Luca Digne, and they struggle in defence. I mean, when he was suspended the other week after he got sent off, they struggled in defensively. And again, this weekend, they struggled to look as comfortable as they have done in previous games this season. I mean, having a back three of Holgate and Godfrey is really it doesn't really assure you that much, does it?
Yeah, I mean, their backline is the weaker part of their team by an absolute mile.
Yeah. The other game on Saturday, it was the late one, saw West Bromwich Albion play Sheffield United in the game at the bottom of the table, and it was the home side that won thanks to a Conor Gallagher goal.
We applaud them as well. They finally learned how to win in the Premier League again.
Yes. The result moves the Baggies out of the relegation zone, a point ahead of Burnley, and it leaves Sheffield United rooted bottom to the table with 1 point from their opening 10 games. Not the thriller.
Poor Sheffield United.
No more. Yeah. You've got to say.
It's not looking bleak already, is it? Surely.
I think it is. I think they've had their one season phenomenon, and now it's just going to be just harsh time for them this season. Looking at how close the rest of the league is, so from like 16th above, I think I just don't see them catching up to Brighton and then staying up. I think they're go on.
They're almost giving the 2015-16 Aston Villa team a run for their money in terms of how shite they have been this season.
Yeah, I mean, thinking back to that Aston Villa squad in
2015-16.
1
point in December?
Yeah. At this rate, they could be on course to level Derby County.
I was going to say, where are Derby at this point?
I think they were bottom with maybe
they were bottom.
They
were left bottom.
Oh yeah, because they finished the season on 11 points, if I remember correctly, back that season. But yeah, it is a poor performance again from Chris Wilder's side. This was definitely the chance for them to start their season like we said in the preview show. But as we also said, we don't expect Chris Wilder to be under any managerial pressure of losing his job. But you never know in the game of football. It is definitely interesting to see what does happen, say, if by Easter they've already been relegated because they can't mathematically stay up. Do they decide to move on from Wilder, or do they keep him for another season in the Championship?
Just for Bayern, this is where Sheffield United fans actually should now be pissed, because I've just looked it up. Derby start. Derby at this point had a whopping 6 points.
Oh, wow.
And they had a
So
win. They had their only win that season. They had it at this point.
Wow. How many
Sheffield
goals had they
United,
conceded?
I've no idea. But they're looking at it, they got smashed a few times. Points was Sheffield are having a worse start than Derby. Walder's days may be numbered if they look at that stat.
Yeah. If they take that into consideration, you've got to say Walder's days could be behind him.
And we know one man will be celebrating.
Who?
Jurgen Klopp will be getting the champagne.
True. He will be celebrating like a madman. The only other game that we've had full-time results from so far took place on Friday night as Crystal Palace played host to Newcastle, and it was Steve Bruce's side that went away with the 3 points, scoring 2 late goals thanks to Callum Wilson and Joe Linton, both setting up each other for their goals. Very good result for Steve Bruce's side. I think they could have had a lot more goals than they did, but 3 points thoroughly deserved, you got to say.
It set the tone for the weekend when Joel Linton's fucking scoring.
Yeah. I mean, when he's scoring, something's definitely wrong.
And let's just put this out there on this podcast, because bloody Newcastle fans, how dare you expect something of your team?
Oh, yeah.
How dare you? Look at your club's position. How dare you complain? fucking Danny Murphy, what's he on about? I sympathise so much with Newcastle fans because we told them this when Steve Bruce signed them. This is what's going to happen. You're going to get told. No, there's the mass hysteria they don't want. They're just they're never happy. Like, fuck off. This is the exact same period we went for. This same period.
Yeah. Victory, though, for the Magpies moves them above Palace into 14th place in this table, level on points with West Ham, Leeds and Arsenal, the Gunners, who are currently playing against Wolverhampton. And the live checking on the score is currently 0-0. Elsewhere in the world of football, Barcelona played Osasuna and Los Blancos won 4-0 thanks to Messi, Philip Coutinho, Antoine Griezmann and Martin Braithwaite with the goals.
Hold on. What did you call them?
I've just blown.
Oh dear.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe I've actually just done that.
Well, thank God for our C-graded Spanish, because
oh my god.
You have just had many Barcelona fans, if they're listening to this, throw their iPads or phones from them.
We can edit that.
They've just turned off now. Well done.
We can edit this, can't we?
Can we edit? No, this is exactly. You deserve to be shamed for this.
It's because I was thinking so far in my head that I was going to talk about the Real Madrid game before the Barcelona game because it happened the day before. Anyway, the Blaugrana won 4-0. Good, excellent goal from Antoine Griezmann
when we get to 50
Lionel Messi. And Messi did a lovely tribute after his goal, revealing a New Old Boys shirt with Maradona's old number and did Maradona's celebration after the Argentinian passed away last week.
You were going to say Napoli for a second.
No. Elsewhere in La Liga, Real Madrid lost to Alaves 2-1. Lucas Perez penalty and a Joselu goal separated the two sides, though Los Blancos get it this time. Scored in the 86th minute thanks to Casemiro.
Yes, I could have sworn they were the Catalan Giants.
Again, a result like that for Real Madrid is extremely poor, and the amount of penalties they're conceding in their last 3 or 4 games, I think that might be up to 6 now that they've conceded in the league alone. I think questions have definitely got to be asked about Zidane and why they're giving away so many penalties because it's incredible the amount that they've given away. Like I said, I think it's been 6 in their last 4 games now, so it's not looking good for Zinedine Zidane's side. Elsewhere in the world of football, in Germany, Bayern Munich remain top of the Bundesliga after beating Stuttgart 3-1. Goals from Douglas Costa, Robert Lewandowski and Kingsley Coman gave Hansi Flick's side the 3 points, whilst fellow league rivals Borussia Dortmund lost 2-1 to Cologne. The away side scored a brace thanks to Elias Skiri, whilst Torgan Hazard scored in the 74th minute for Lucien Favre's side. Elsewhere in the world of football, Sunderland have parted way with manager Phil Parkinson after just 13 months in charge. The Black Cats currently sit just outside the playoffs in League One and drew to Fleetwood Town on Friday 1-1. There's been no names thrown about at the minute, and for me it was quite a bit of a shock to see Parkinson get the sack. Realistically, I don't know about you, what your thoughts are on the situation.
I mean, haven't Sunderland fans been through enough? Just like that club has fallen so far.
It's quite drastic how bad they've fallen over the last few years. A bit of sad news that's came out in the last hour or so, and that is former Senegalese Fulham and West Ham player Papa Bouba Diop has sadly passed away at the age of 42 years old following a long illness. It was announced by Senegalese press earlier on today. Many will remember Diop for his spell with Senegal in the 2002 World Cup when he scored their first ever goal in a World Cup, and was part of a Fulham side to have played in the Premier League in the early 2000s, and he was a very good player and underrated, and our thoughts go out to his family and close ones at this sad time. We've also had FA Cup second round action this weekend, and Marine in the 8th tier of English football, I think we said they were. The lowest remaining side in the competition have advanced to the 3rd round after beating Caverton Waterlooville 1-0 thanks to a 120th minute winner by Niall Cummins to set the side through to their first ever 3rd round. You got to say something like that is just amazing story. Even just the finances that they're going to get from this is phenomenal for the club.
It's as you pointedly said at the end of recording last week when you gave your opinions on the FA Cup. It's the romance of the competition that you hate. Care to explain this one?
I think over the last few years, it's lost its entertainment for the bigger sides. For me, I think the early rounds of it's very good for the non-league sides when they beat teams in like League 1 and 2. But the further you get in the competition, I think the more predictable it gets, and that's what just bores me really, and that's why I'm not really that interested in the FA Cup.
My mind, FA Cup 3rd round weekend is the best weekend in the English football calendar. So,
we have just over.
And the 3rd round draw
just over.
And the 3rd round draw is the most tense thing I watch all year. You can take your dramas like The Crown, turn them away. All about the 3rd round draw.
The 3rd round draw will be coming up in
tomorrow. It is
tomorrow.
It is
Monday, depending on when you're listening to this. Yes. And the ties will be played in early January, if I remember correctly. 3rd round draw is usually in January.
Yes, so it's the first week of January.
Yeah, so it'll be definitely one for those to look out for, especially Marine fans, to see who they get. Hopefully,
and it was a shout out to Chorley as well. Also got through.
Yes.
Peter, right? Actually, Stevenage as well, but second bottom from League Two, beating Hull City
of League One. Yes, that was a very good result for Stevenage, winning 6-5 on penalties. Stockport County beating Yeovil Town is another big result of the weekend. Though hopefully another low league side can get through tomorrow, as Canvey Island take on Boreham Wood at 7:45. Monday, if you're listening to it.
Yeah. I always say
I'm recording. It's Sunday.
I always say more non-league teams the better.
It should definitely bring up some excitement. In Scotland, there's been some protests in the last few hours at Celtic Park after Celtic lost again. No, sorry, they didn't lose.
Yes, they did lose.
They
did lose. They lost 2-0 to Ross County.
In the Scottish Cup, was it?
In the Scottish League Cup, it was their first cup defeat in 35 games.
Wow. Yes, 2-0. Alexandra Lacavetti and Ross Stewart, Ross Stewart, gave Ross County
Rod Stewart's one missed his boys.
that would be very funny to see Rod Stewart playing football. But yeah, there's been protests in the last few hours from Celtic fans wanting Neil Lennon to be gone now after a poor start to the league season, which is in second place behind Rangers by 11 points. And on Thursday night, they got knocked out of the Europa League after losing. Was it? I've forgotten who they played now.
I believe Sparta Prague.
Yes, consecutive 4-1 losses, if I can remember correctly, to them. So they finished bottom of their group, or are at bottom of the group with 1 point, and it is impossible for them to qualify. Take the direction of all the Celtic fans at the minute wanting Neil Lennon to be sacked.
Oh, the man's job's untenable. He will be a gunner very soon, or they will drag him out eventually.
Yeah, he'll be one of them where you'll see, if he doesn't get the sack, they'll drag him out by the collar and.
He is a bit of a legend to them as well, in a way. So if he has, I guess, the same respect, I can see him walking.
I don't know whether he will do that. That's the thing. I don't know whether
he probably didn't get any of his post-match stuff from Thursday. The man sounded broken. Like the man's waiting for it now. It's just put him out of his misery.
Yeah. Not too much else has happened in the world of football. We haven't had the craziness of the MLS because that starts tonight in the semi-finals of the conferences. We're on international break in the women's football. Congratulations to France, who on Friday night qualified for the Euros in 2022. That will be in England. Spain are on the brink of joining them as well in the Euros after they won 10-0 on Friday. And as we mentioned in the preview show, the Netherlands women replayed the US, and it was the US that would go on to beat victors, winning 2-0 thanks to Rose Lavelle and Christy Mewis with the goal. Now over to you, Brad, for this end segment that you have lined up for me.
Yes, there's a nice light end to our show. But I'm going to give you 3 scenarios. Basically, this is almost like would you rather. So your options: would you rather be a regular first team player that is loved by the fans and you are on 2k a week at Wimbledon?
Okay.
Second choice: would you rather be a rotational first team player where the fans are pretty content with you? You're on 20k a week at Southampton.
Right.
And now for the interesting one. You are failing to make the bench You are absolutely despised by the fans. You are on 150k a week at the Catalan gods that are Real Madrid.
So would I rather be Gareth?
Would you basically,
So would it basically be Bale? Yeah.
I saw this on Twitter
Aria
and I thought,
Romeo at Southampton.
I saw this on Twitter and I thought, this is actually quite an interesting topic, but I thought I'd bring on. And just before you give your answer, I think I know exactly where you're going.
I have seen this question a few weeks back, actually. Obviously, everyone would love to be the cult hero at a club like Wimbledon. Nothing wrong with them. £2,000 a week, obviously, you can survive on, as many people do survive on that and or less.
That's what I said. £2,000 a week is £100.
Next one, yeah, it's nothing to complain about. Next one you said was a rotational player. Fans are neither here nor there with me, and I'm on £20,000 a week. Was that?
You're basically Will Smallburn.
And you've lived in Southampton. I did live in Southampton. Again, Southampton, great club. I've always held that little something there for them. I've always liked them since the Nigel Adkin days. Wouldn't be too bad. £20,000 a week. Can't complain. I'm getting minutes here and there. And then the third option was on silly amount. Yeah, Project Bale. Hated by the fans and not really getting game time. For me, I'd happily take the Southampton one.
Very interesting. I genuinely thought you were going to go with the Real.
No.
I don't know what I just thought. 150k a week, I'll take it.
No, I mean, yeah, obviously everyone would say, 150k a week, anyone would take it, but what's the point of being a professional footballer if I'm not getting picked and the fans don't like me? Okay, the fans might not love to you as a 20k footballer, but at least you're actually playing profession rather than just sat there doing nothing. What would you do in this situation?
I'm Wimbledon. All day I will happily sit on 2k a week. Someone like Wimbledon, with history, again, it may not be recent, but it's still technically the era of Wimbledon. Regular first team player, and I'm a cult hero.
Okay. Any other scenarios you got for me this week, or?
I've got nothing else. That is all I saw.
Okay, I think that's all we have time for this week. Nothing else.
It makes a difference when talking for an hour.
Yeah. Nice short one for once. We'll be back later on in the week to have a look towards the weekend's games and have a look back at the Champions League fixture. Oh yes, before we do finish, Predictions League.
I couldn't forget.
Yes. We're both having a poor week. I'm the only one to have scored points, getting 2 points for predicting Man United would win and Barcelona would win. You're on nothing at the minute. Poor week, but we did expect that considering the amount of 2-1 results we had gone for.
Yeah, but I'm basically the Burnley right now.
Let's hope.
I am relying on Napoli to do me a favour.
Yes. Well, it's currently 0-0 in their game against Roma, though we've only played 13 minutes. We'll be back later on in the week. Hopefully we can do better in our predictions there. And obviously, if there's any news that happens between now and then, we will let you know on the show. And of course, we will have a look back at how the English sit on in Europe. I hope you have enjoyed listening to us again as usual. If you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you're listening anywhere else, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a podcast, and follow us on our Twitter page and our Facebook page. And it's goodbye from me and goodbye from Brad.
Apologies on behalf of my co-host to Real Madrid fans. Goodbye.
Yes.